This podcast is best listened to with headphones.
You don't want to go in there all by yourself, do you?
C.s.w. presents Incarnation Red.
Episode 2. Friend. It was about a half hour ago, I think to myself. She was just going out to get some dinner with her parents so they could bring it back here for us four, probably to be eaten off the top of cardboard boxes. That's the closest thing to a table we have, while the actual table is covered with our things. I don't know anything about the restaurant we decided on. Just some sandwich shop 15 minutes away that's as new and faceless to me as anything in this city. We placed a pickup order. It said it'd be ready in 15 minutes, and figuring I could get more unpacking done while they were out, I stayed behind. And now it's been about a half hour. I got through 2 boxes, mostly kitchen stuff. Without anywhere to put them, I stacked the contents on the meager counter space we have: plates, cutlery, hardware. The second box was made up of pots and pans, which I stored in the cabinets underneath. I'm almost positive that it's probably where she would want them. With the boxes empty now, I start back across the apartment to break them down. In the living room, I glance at the boxes on the table, nod to myself. Figure I should go for those next so maybe we could actually eat off the table. After all, it's been over 30 minutes. They're bound to be back soon. As I look, though, I stop myself. My brow wrinkles. There's a piece of paper on the table, a printout from the landlord summing up a few things about the place: who to call for emergencies, email addresses, details about laundry. But at the bottom, there's something that wasn't there before. Something written. Friend. I blink a couple of times. It's just the word friend, but twice. I look a little closer. The second F is backwards. I glance to my left, all the way down the kitchen to the back door. Then to my right, to the entryway and front door. I gaze around the whole apartment. Then I look back at the words. They weren't there before. I read the whole printout when we found it, top to bottom, and they weren't there. I look at the table. There isn't a pen anywhere on it. But the words are there, written in ink. Friend. But the second F is backwards. I sit still, listen very closely. The next boxes I attempt are back in the entryway. There's at least 3 more of just kitchen things, and not really having anywhere to put them, I push them into the kitchen and leave them there. 2 more in the entryway consist of bathroom things, the first one towels and the second one shower things. I sit on the closed toilet, pick the bottles out one by one, put them under the cabinet on the vanity. The next 2 boxes are mostly bedroom stuff. No clothes or anything but my alarm clock, some posters, a notepad. We haven't put the bed in a room yet, but I picked the one that I'm decently sure she would want to be the bedroom. It's the one that makes the most sense. I would normally ask her in this type of situation, but she isn't here. She's been gone for something like 45 minutes. I check my phone for the time. She's been gone for 38 minutes. The first box is unpacked almost immediately, and the second is done before I even realize it. I exhale in relief. Unpacking might not be as hard as I anticipated. I walk back toward the entryway and stop in the living room. I look at the table. The piece of paper is still there, Written on it is the word friend, twice. The second F is backwards, but both of them are capital. I can tell it's not a printed font, it's handwritten. As handwritten as if I had written it, but I didn't. I didn't write it. And it wasn't there before my wife left with her parents, so she didn't write it, and they didn't write it. But it's handwriting. Someone wrote it. Someone wrote it. That's just the case. Someone had to have written it.
Hey, sweetheart. Just calling to see if everything was okay. You guys have been out for a while, and I just didn't know if something had slowed you down or anything. Give me a call back or just text me. Either works. Love you.
The next box I choose is office stuff. My office stuff. Instead of a more practical 2 bedrooms, the place has 3 small bedrooms, leaving room for each of us to have an office. I picked the one at the far end of the apartment, its door bordering the kitchen, distant and unnoticed by the rest of the place. We already put my desk in there, if for no other reason than to keep it out of our way while we're still unpacking. I go into the kitchen, all the way to the back door. I look behind me, down the length of the place. I can see the whole apartment from this angle. I can see just about everything in it, too. Everything except the 3 individual rooms and the things that are in them. My office being one of them. I step into the room, turn the lights on. The desk is placed haphazardly in the middle of the room. I put the things I'm carrying on top of it: books, my laptop, my pocket knife. I take a second to look around the room, study it. It's not big, about 6 feet wide, maybe 12 long. The walls are in a noticeable color. It's meant to be a bedroom, so there's a closet. It's slightly ajar. I walk towards it. I peer inside the thin gap. Not much is visible, so I pull open the sliding door fully. It's empty. A clothing rod is installed in the wall, and there are metal basket-like drawers that take up a bulk of the space. I stick my head all the way in the closet. I turn left, right. I wonder if I could fit inside. What kind of person would be able to fit inside? The other bedrooms have closets. Who might be able to fit inside them? I step away from it. Nodding to nobody, I look at the walls, the ceiling. I look at where the ceiling meets the walls, the corners. There's nothing notable about them, just where 2 surfaces of the same pale color meet, blank as a sheet of paper with nothing written on it. I look down at the floor. It's hardwood. The dark rings on each board make conflicting patterns. I step back outside, start back toward the box I was unpacking, but I stop myself. I squint, shake my head, pull my phone out to check the time because I know it's been over an hour. My phone's clock says it's almost 8:32, almost 50 minutes since she and her parents left. I do a visual scan of the remaining boxes. At this point, unpacking any more boxes without her would just be foolish. I am decently sure of what she thinks 9 times out of 10, but who knows? Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I think I know what she's craving for takeout, and then she wants something else. Sometimes I think I know what she's about to say, and then she says something else. Sometimes I expect her to be back within 20 minutes when retrieving a pre-made pickup order, and then after something like an hour, but almost definitely longer, she's still not back. I run a hand through my hair.
Hey, honey, is everything all right? Because you've been gone for a long time, and I thought you said that place was like 15 minutes away from us. I'm just starting to get worried. Not trying to overreact, I don't know, just text me as soon as you can. Also, weird question, but did you, or your parents even, Did you write something on that printout the landlord gave us? It's not important. I just was wondering, I guess. Okay, bye.
I sit up on the couch, stare at the front door. Look at the boxes. Remember not to unpack them because who knows? Who knows what might happen? So I sit there. And sit there. Looking closer at the letters doesn't yield anything new. It's just the same. It's the word friend twice. Both F's are capital, but the second one is still backwards. But even if they both face the same way, they're written with different slopes and angles, just like the R's are both different, and the I's are both different, and the E's are both different, and the N's are both different, and the D's are both different. And that means it's not printed, and that means it was written, and that means someone had to write it, and that someone wasn't me. It wasn't even there at all until I saw it. Did my seeing it suddenly make it there? And why? Why friend? I don't have any friends in this city, let alone anyone inside this apartment. Is it a statement of fact or an expression of desire? Is it a request, an invitation, or a warning? And for God's sake, why is the second F backwards? I bury my face in my hands. Inhale, exhale. The drive was a long one. 15 hours on the road, all in one long stretch. When I close my eyes, I still see the endless interstate yawning fast upon me. I need to rest. I've unpacked more boxes than I expected to have done in 7 hours, let alone one, or less than one. I can afford to wait until tomorrow for the rest. My wife is out with her parents. What are the chances she got jumped or murdered with both of them there to protect her? It's the last time she'll see them for a while anyway. It would make perfect sense for her to be too distracted to hear her phone. Maybe they're having a serious, family-only conversation, and maybe that'll mean she has bad news when she gets home or something, but it'll be better than this. Anything would be better than this. I check the locks on the front and back doors. I shake them in their frames, make sure they won't open. I make sure the windows are shut and locked, then close the blinds. I look at the paper and nothing has changed. Then I turn toward the couch. I pick up the spare things on top of it and move them to the floor. I haven't unpacked the linens or pillows yet, but I don't need them. I lay on my side, rest my head against the plush armrest. She has her keys. She'll be able to unlock the door just fine once she's back. They'll wake me up once they get here, and I'll just explain that I was tired, which I am. And once I've got her back in the apartment, I'm sure that friend will get its rational explanation. Rational. Rational. Rational.
What's reality? I
open my eyes. Things are blurry until they're not. I sit up, stretch, blink a few times. I look around the apartment. Nothing has changed. I stand up, step into the center of the room. I look at the front door there in front of me. It's locked. I turn to my right toward the back door. I stare. From this distance, my eyesight could surely be failing. It could be failing. So I sprint down the length of the apartment into the kitchen, but I'm right. My eyes aren't wrong. The door is unlocked. I open it, pull it in, then shut it again just to make sure. It's unlocked. I call my wife's name over my shoulder. There is no reply. I call again. Nothing. The apartment is completely still. I scramble up a wide, long vegetable knife from the pile of silverware and cutlery on the counter. I hold it tightly, blade pointed forward. I step slowly back toward the living room. I call out, "Whoever's in here, you can get the hell out now!" There's only silence. Silence not of someone hiding and keeping quiet, but of a place where nothing living has ever been. I call out again. "Come out now or I'm calling the police!" With my free hand, I withdraw my phone from my pocket to dial 911, but I don't even get past the lock screen. My breath stops in my lungs. The knife almost drops from my hand. My phone reads the time at me in stark, white numbers. 8:33. I raise my head numbly. I look down the length of the apartment. Nothing is moving or stirring at all. It looks like a room cut from a dollhouse. Everything inside completely inanimate. Clutching the knife, I rush into the living room, rifle through boxes, find my backpack crowded against a wall. Head darting over my shoulder repeatedly, I unzip it and pull out my laptop, throw it open. It makes no difference. According to my phone, the oven clock, even my laptop. 1 minute has passed since I fell asleep. 1 minute has passed since I stopped unpacking boxes. 1 minute has passed since I stared at those ungodly letters again, agonized and scrutinized them, searched desperately for their meaning, and was this it? Was it all for me to see my true nature as this insect in a cage, scrambling around in random directions as a furious attempt to nail it all down an objective fact, because the doors were locked, and it was 8:32 hours ago, and there was no friend written on that piece of paper before my wife left, and I swear to God it wasn't me who wrote it, but the door's unlocked now. It's 8:33, and friend is still written on that damn piece of paper with no indication whatsoever of who wrote it. So what? What is the point? What is the point of any of it? I slap my palm on the ground. My teeth grit. I leap to a stand and practically sprint to the front door and grab the lock. Then I stop. I twist. I twist harder. I twist in both directions, turn the knob every way I can, try to push and pull the door in its frame, but it doesn't matter. The door won't even move, locked in some matter-bound state, like it was cast into its frame with cement. I slam my fists on the door, yell out. Frantic, I turn away and go to the window. They're just the same, immovable, static. Shaking them at their edges, I stare out through the glass. The street is silent. There are no cars, no wind, no people. I grind my teeth. I know at least of one door still unlocked. I swing around and march to the back door, and it's locked again. First my limbs are cold. Then they're numb. Then they're all too warm and all too feeling, and I clench my face between clawed fingers, crying out. And I'm still. My hands lower slowly from my face. Then I walk into the living room, sit down, lie down, on the floor. If I'm gonna do this, then I'd better get started. It's all relying on me, I tell myself. If I don't do it, who will? If I don't prove it one way or the other right now, right at this moment, then how do I get out of this? If I can't properly keep my reality held together, then who will? And what in God's name are they going to make it into? I close my eyes, cover them with my palms. I take a deep breath, then I start counting. All the way from 1 to 60. A little longer than 1 second for each number. I don't raise my palms. I don't open my eyes. I don't listen for what I might be hearing in the apartment. I just focus on the numbers. On each one, all the way from 1 to 60. Once I reach 60, I remove my palms, open my eyes. My phone is in my pocket. I begin to reach for it, then stop. My hand shakes midair. Then I withdraw it, place it back over my eyes. I should go to 120. Yeah, that's it. I need to go to 120. I start from 61, continue. I reach it, then reach for my phone, stop. I pause. I withdraw my hand. I should go to 180. I need to make it absolutely sure. If I don't make it absolutely sure, then what is there? So I need to go to 180. I reach it. Reach for my phone. Stop. I return my hand. Consider. Then figure I should go to 240. If I don't, then I just need to go to 240. That's what I should do. I keep my eyes closed and start counting again. I reach it. Reach for my phone. Stop.
471.
I should go to 300.
472.
I start counting.
825.
800. I reach it.
897.
Reach for my phone. Stop.
898.
I should go to 360.
900.
I start counting.
900. 1003. 903. 904. 905. 906. 1057. 1058.
I reach it. Reach for my phone. Stop. I should go to... I should go to... My hands uncover my eyes, hit the floor heavily. I can't remember what number was next. I don't remember what the point was in the first place. I don't even really remember what a number is. Whatever the point of it was, I seem to have succeeded in one point only. I now know even less than before. I reach for my phone, pull it out of my pocket, and look at the time. 8:33.
Please just pick up the phone. I feel so far from you now. So far from everything. Please. Please.
There are patterns in the hardwood floors. Dark lines and curves stretching out. Twisted, gnarled, forming corners and rims. Manners, characters. Mouths, eyes. There are patterns in the hardwood floor, staring up at me like they have eyes. It's been several hours since my phone died, or not. I'm sitting on the floor of the entryway, head between my hands, or not. My wife has not returned, or she has, with or without her family, or maybe so, or maybe someone else, or maybe her family is someone else, or maybe she is someone else, or maybe I am someone else, and how nice would that be? How nice. If it meant I could leave this room, or this city, or this world. Leave the world. True transcendence. There is only one true act of transcendence. I look at my hands, my wrists. I look at my body, and it is like a room that I am trapped inside of. My hands are chain links. My feet are shackles. They lay heavy atop the hardwood floor where patterns smile up at me. They are smiling up at me, like they have mouths. I sit back against the wall. Even if my phone were still alive, what would I have told the police? I am trapped in an apartment, or not, and someone has intruded into my apartment, or not, and maybe time has stopped dead in its tracks, or maybe it's just me. And anyway, somebody wrote something nonsensical on this sheet of paper when I wasn't looking, when I was in another room and I saw I was gone, and slipped out from somewhere, and anyway, the patterns in the floor staring up at me, smiling, eyeing with gnarled wooden smiles and swirling wooden eyes, and they are everywhere all at once, and when I blink, they don't go away, and now they're everywhere, not just in the floor anymore, because who really knows anything, and who knows what is or isn't possible in this world or this apartment, and who knows what it means when the faces in the wood come so close to my face, I feel all cold inside, but really, truly, and honestly, the only thing I know is that
I'm still in this room! It's been 8:33 for hours and hours and hours! Those goddamn words were not there before she left. And they were written by someone, and that someone wasn't me!
all I can still find it in myself to wonder about are those words. Who wrote them? Why did they write them? Why? Why is the second F backwards? The word is there twice, once correctly, once incorrectly. Did the person that wrote not understand what they were writing? They knew enough to get it right once, but not the second time. So which one is it? Is it friend? Or is it something else? I haven't looked at the paper in a long time. Not since I lay on the floor counting, with my eyes closed. My eyes slide slowly toward the table in the living room. Sitting down, I can't see it. So I stand up, stare at the paper from a distance. I can't read it. So I step forward. My hands shake at my sides. My blood seizes and flails inside me. I breach the line separating entryway from living room. I walk toward the table. Turn myself to face it directly. I stare down at the piece of paper. The words are there, but the first friend has been scratched out violently. It's funny, I think. I don't remember us putting a mirror on that wall. And I don't remember my reflection looking so different from me. I don't remember my reflection being able to move all on its own. Especially so